All right, what up, YouTube Live? All right, let me see. Is it too bright? If it's too bright, I should probably turn the light away a little bit from my direction. There you go. How about now? Okay, that's kind of better. All right, how's it going, everybody? It is now midnight. Officially Friday. What's the date here? January 4th, 2019. So that means the review embargo for Future Man Season 2 has lifted. It officially lifts this hour. So here's the deal. Uh, when I did the review for Hulu Marvel's Runaway Season 2 this past December, some of you have asked me, hey, Rama, why didn't you do it on a per episode basis, instead of me doing an entire season 2 review in one video? Well, I mentioned to you because the reason was that Hulu dropped the whole 13 episodes of Runaway season 2 for you to binge watch in a drop, like boom, as opposed to season 1, which was released. The episodes were released on a weekly basis. So some of you are like, hey, Rama, still though, it'd be nicer if you could dissect the show by each episode. So I figured, you know what, for this Future Man season 2, I'm gonna do exactly that. Even though I have seen, I kid you not, thanks to Hulu, thank you Hulu for granting me the entire season 2 of Future Man. So I've seen the entire 13 episodes of this new season 2 of Future Man. But I'm gonna do the review now uh, by episodes. So I'm going to start with, of course, season 2, episode 1, titled Countdown to Prologue. So that's what I'm doing right now in this video for you, for my fellow Future Man fans out there. I'm stoked because I think this show is hella funny, man. Have you seen season 1? Oh my God, I was cracking up. By the way, just like with all my recap videos, all my TV review videos, this too will contain spoilers. So heads up, spoiler alert. I'll be spilling spoilers left and right, just as with all my TV review videos. Okay, so if you remember in season 1, what happened? Josh Futterman got recruited by Tiger and Wolf. Tiger and Wolf want to fix their future, and they recruit the help of Josh, who they at first they think, okay, Josh is a savior, right? Because he's accomplished this one video game. That's Tiger and Wolf's test to find that true savior. And the bad guy was Cronish, played by Keith David. And Cronish had this herpes going on with him. So the whole season 1 basically it's trying to stop Cronish from unleashing this catastrophe, and also at the same time trying to, I don't know, beat down any biotics that come, or get in the way. So that's the essence of season 1. There's a lot of when it comes to the time travel part. I enjoyed season 1 because there was a lot of going to the past. The 1950s, there's 1980s also. I think at one point Wolf got stuck in some kind of a Top Gun storyline where he plays beach volleyball with a bunch of other guys. That's kind of reminiscent of Top Gun. And so it's so much fun. There's a lot of pop culture references, like of course Back to the Future and Terminator movies, the usual suspect when it comes to time travel. So season 1 was so much fun. I was hooked the minute that Josh Futterman spewed accidentally spewed his semen onto Wolf, and then Wolf's like, "Oh God!" It's like, And Tiger said to Wolf, relax, it's just see. What is it? What did she say? Oh yeah, relax, it's just cum. And then Wolf says, it's a lot of cum. As he takes the towel and tries to wipe it off. Um, from that moment, man, I was hooked. I was just. It's a funny show. And it's executive produced by Seth Rogen and his frequent collaborator Evan Goldberg. So that's what happened in season one. And at the end of season one, Josh managed to destroy Kronish's building. So, and of course, he gets thrown into prison because if you destroy a building, that's considered domestic terrorism. So he's labeled terrorist. And that one detective that Santiago's partner finally finally handcuffs John and throws him into jail. So you would think that everything's now all and well, right? Everything's safe and sound. The future is okay, right? But no, that's why there's season two. So what happens in season two? Um, okay, spoiler alert, right? I'll be speaking spoilers. So let me give you the context of the story and the plot of what happens in season two. So Josh um, wakes up not in his cell, in his jail cell, no, not in prison. He wakes up in his own bed in his house, in his lavish house, and Adam Shear's, one of Adam Shear. I'm sorry, not Adam Shear. Paul Shear plays the video game store guy. He's there in the couch, and he apparently works for Josh Futterman. And Josh is like, "Whoa, what's happening here?" Because Josh is disoriented. Uh, the last thing I remember that I was in prison. Next thing I knew, I woke up here. What happened? And Paul Shear explains to Josh like, okay, there's this thing. Well, Paul Shear and Detective Skarsgård, the Santiago's partner, he was there too, and they're basically trying to explain to Josh, hey, in a nutshell, the law system ends up giving him a house prison instead, a house prison. Um, so, but these two guys, Detective Skarsgård and gosh, what's his name? I can't remember here. Let me double check here. Yep. The video game store guy. Apparently that's his name. The video game store guy and Detective Skarsgård, they behave funny. They act kind of fishy around Josh. So Josh can tell, right? It's like, whoa, something's weird, something's off with you guys here. And it gets to the point where they're like interrogating Josh, about Stu. Now, for those of you fans who have watched season one, Stu is the character that's played by Oscar nominee Haley Joel Osment. There you go, from that Sixth Sense skit. So Stu Camillo, when they're asking, like, what do you know about Stu Camillo? What do you know? What does Stu have on you? And that's when Tiger and Wolf come in and kill the video game store guy and Detective Skarsgård, and everything seems to be okay, right? All and well, right? It's like safe and sound and back again. Like, oh my god, thank God you're here, Tiger and Wolf. Oh my goodness, Josh feels assured again. And I love them. What an entrance by Tiger and Wolf. Such great two characters, this dynamic duo. And they eat food, they break bread, they introduce the new member of their team. I think her name is Fox, and Fox is like a hacker. So there's four of them now, right? Josh, Fox, Tiger, and Wolf, trying to figure out what is going on. The whole thing. They're still oblivious as to like, why are we here? Because according to Tiger and Wolf, their future is safe. Their future, thanks to what Josh did in season one, their future is safe. But they said that Josh's present is the one now in trouble. So it's like, whoa, how is it in trouble? And then the name Stu Camillo, the name Stu Camillo gets brought up again, and all of a sudden boom, a wolf, tiger, and fox start acting fishy or behaving weirdly in front of Josh, just the same way that the video game store guy and Detective Skarsgård were acting fishy around Josh. And they start to saying like, "Hey, what do you know about Stu Camillo? What does Stu Camillo have on you?" And then Josh clicks in him, right? Oh my God, that's the same exact thing that those other guys said to me. And so that's when Josh kind of like finds out. It's like, no, maybe you're not actually Tiger and Wolf. And then the next thing you know, it's like it morphs into this kind of Matrix kind of revelation, like going from computer world to actual world. And then Josh wakes up in some kind of a cave, like a laboratory in a cave, and apparently he's been experimented on, and he gets out of the gurney, and of course you see Josh with his big ass penis, right? Of course it's fake. The actor Josh Hutcherson doesn't have an actual big penis, so and then Josh encounters the guys controlling that cave, the guys that were experimenting or like treating him with something in that cave, and they are led by a new character named Athena. And Athena reveals to Josh, by at this point, it's like, I'm sorry to break this to you, but whatever it is that you tried to do previously, it ultimately did not work. And instead of Keith David's character Cronish, the bad guy now Stu Camillo. Stu Camillo is trying to unleash catastrophe as opposed to Cronish. So I guess you can say Stu is the new Cronish for this one. And this Athena leads a team or a group called Pointed Circle, and Pointed Circle wants Josh's help to bring down or to take down Stu Camillo. At first, Josh is reluctant. Josh is like, "What? I don't want to be savior again. The last time I was a savior, I failed, because now we're here." But then he gets convinced, and he's like, "You know what? Yeah, I'll help you guys out." But then he immediately finds out that Athena and the Pointer Circle are secretly also trying to kill Josh. So Josh escapes from the cave and scene. So I just explained to you what happens in this episode 1 of season 2, the new season 2. So what do I think of it? There's a lot that I have here on my notes. Let's go through them real quick. First of all, I still think this show is funny, but having watched the entire 13 episodes of season 2, I gotta be honest with you, I do not find this new season to be as funny as season 1. And let me turn down the volume. Okay. And I think there's a lot of jokes, not just throughout this episode, but throughout the season 2, that don't land. So just a heads up for you guys out there, if you're looking to, I don't know, laugh out loud, rolling on the floor, if you're expecting to 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 get all hysterical about it, I don't think you're gonna get that in this new season. But there will be some jokes that like hit the target, and I can name a few that also happens in season 1. I'm sorry, episode 1 of season 2. So of course I mentioned to you the penis thing, the big penis. That's funny. I think that's hilarious. um the references that are brought up in this episode 1 of season 2 are not Back to the Future or Terminator. uh some of the things that they mention are John Wick. I don't know how John Wick has anything to do with time travel, but apparently Josh thinks he's being John Wick. The other one is 50 First Dates. That gets mentioned, even though it's not really a time loop, short term memory thing going on in episode one. But I find that to be interesting for them to mention those two movies as opposed to the usual time travel stuff like Back to the Future. Um, Josh Futterman is still as clueless as he's ever been, and that's his character, right? That's what I appreciate about um, episode one. Um, there's not. It's not like Josh is all of a sudden, I don't know, super strong or super smart. No, Josh is still Josh, and Tiger is still Tiger, and Wolf is still Wolf. That's why when Tiger and Wolf are not behaving like Tiger and Wolf, that's the one that gives Josh the alarm or red signal. It's like, oh man, you guys are not the real deal here. I must be in some kind of I don't know, computer world or something. Um, let me see what notes, what else notes do I have here? Okay, so just a heads up also for you guys out there, the entire season two, all right, I'm gonna break it down by episodes, but I just want to say that it's you're gonna get to see Josh Futterman, Tiger, and Wolf um in a different identity. All right. So Wolf has to pretend to be this other character throughout much of the season, and Josh Futterman has to, yeah, pretty much occasionally lie about who he is, but also he has to survive even more harshly than the rest of the gang. And when it comes to Tiger, she's gonna have a double. And it's not something that you could predict. All right, I'm not gonna spoil it right here, but that's what you can expect throughout this whole. And I think that's fun. I think if you are the actors playing these characters, I'm talking about, of course, Josh Hutcherson, Eliza Coupe, and Derek Wilson, because even though they still, uh, let me get my notes again. Even though they're still Josh Futterman, Tiger, and Wolf, but they're Josh, Tiger, and Wolf of a different version. Let's just put it that way. And I think that's fun to to stretch your skills a bit as an actor. At least in my opinion, that looks like a blast for them to play. But back to episode one. Immediately, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that or in this season two, they're dealing with timeline, alternate timeline. Excuse me. And that's also one of my, I guess, I don't know if I want to use the word disappointments, but okay, here's how I put it. One of the things I enjoyed about season one is the whole time travel thing, right? Going to the past, going to the 80s, going to the future, and you see like rat pot, you eat rats and whatnot. In season two, you don't get to see much of that. You don't get to do much of time traveling. As a matter of fact, they're stuck in this alternate timeline. Alternate timeline, right? It's kind of like when um the Flash tried to save his mother from getting killed, um and that causes like a ripple effect in the universe, and it changes everything. That's what happens here. I think something that just triggers or whatnot, it leads to Stu, Camilo being the big bad villain instead of the peaceful utopia thing that they're trying to create. So the and they're stuck in this timeline. They're stuck. So there's no jumping from one era to the next, and I miss that. Having watched 13 episodes of Future Man season 2, I was like, oh man. As a matter of fact, they don't even have, mm, you know, they don't hold the time travel machine in their hand for the most part of season two. So that is something that's, I don't want to say disappointing, but it's just like I guess I'm missing it, like the absence of jumping from one era to the next. Um, so that's probably one of the downsides of season two, and you could tell from episode one that that is what you are finding yourself in. It's like you are in for a ride that's stuck in one alternate timeline. You're not you're not gonna be doing traveling much from time to time. So uh, another joke that I have here that okay, Athena Athena asks Josh Futterman, he's like, hey, can you be our savior to take down Stu Camillo? And then eventually, ultimately, Josh, at first he's reluctant, but then ultimately he accepts the offer. It's like, yeah, all right, all right, all right. I'm going to be a savior again. I'll be your savior. And Athena in this episode says, we're going to have to give you a nickname. Everybody in the pointed circle, everybody has a nickname in our group. So, okay, Josh is like, okay, what's my nickname? And then Athena says, okay, your nickname will be Jesus. And then Josh is like, yeah, it's too risky. And then Athena says, okay, how about Allah? And then Josh is like, okay, Jesus will be fine. Jesus will do just fine. I I rolled on the floor on that exchange, man, that dialogue. Oh, so from time to time, the jokes do hit the target. For the most part, they're season two is just not as funny as season one. It's still watchable. It's still enjoyable. I really encourage you to stay through. There, episode two, three, and four slow down a little bit in their pacing, and because the characters, between three of them, they get separated, right? So Tiger, Wolf, Josh, and so it takes a while for each of those episodes to focus on Tiger, or focus on Wolf, or focus on Josh's, each of their own struggle. So but it'll pick up again. I promise you, it'll pick up again by episode five and on. And then the story will come together in a way that makes sense. You'll be like, oh, that's why. Okay, but episode two, three, four will slow down a little bit to the point where it kind of feels boring a little bit. But if you stay through and just stick it out and be patient a little bit, I guarantee it'll be rewarding. So that's it. Those are the notes I have here on my screen about episode one. Not much really. It's just setting up it's putting into place, putting into motion what you can expect about throughout the whole season two. Um, the mystery about the pointer circle, are they bad guys or are they good guys? What side are they on? Like, and then you also wonder, like, okay, Josh escapes, so now what? How is he gonna reunite with Tiger and Wolf? And he's, is the pointer circle gonna chase him down and gonna take him back to the cave again? So I'm gonna discuss more of that in my review of episode two. But episode one, it's just, after a year, it's so much fun to see these characters back again. I'm a huge fan of Tiger and Wolf, man. And Wolf, the guy who plays Wolf, is so ripped. Derek Wilson. He's like, it's so chill too. Wolf is such a chill character, and Tiger, Eliza Coop. Oh my god, Eliza Coop is fucking hot. I've seen some of her other shows prior to this show, and she looks amazing. And one of my favorite moments in season one, that unfortunately did not get, or does not get recreated for season two, is when Wolf charges Tiger. The charging time. So basically, all they did is they have doggy style standing sex, but they call it charging. It's like, we got to charge. Oh man, they almost do it again in the season two, but something happens and it doesn't happen. So unfortunately, there's no charging, or charging scene in season two. So that you can take that out of the equation. Um, that's it. That's my review of episode one. Sorry about all the spoilers, but as I mentioned to you before, with all my TV reviews, I will be discussing spoilers. Um, and I can't wait to talk with you again about the rest of this season two. Oh my God, this is fantastic. Thank you, Hulu, for granting me the screeners. Uh, so share your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, press that like button, share this video, and if you can help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/Ramascreen. That's patreon.com/Ramascreen. Thank you guys. Let's rock this.